With the 2023 season coming up, obviously some new rules had to come out. Some are good, some are pointless, and some are very much needed. We're going to skip sections 1 and 2. They are literally just about where logos are going to go and what the logos have to look like. If you think that's important, you can read it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter to anyone, I don't think. Section 3 is where things actually start getting important. Obviously, in the past, 450SX, 450MX, and 250MX championship winners got to pick a single-digit number. That is now going to include the 450 SMX and 250 SMX championships. Some more numbers are going to be given out. Section D of this, if you're in the top 10 of the championship from the previous year, you'll have priority to pick your national 2-digit number. Makes sense. That's really good. Below that, it says riders who failed to earn 25 championship points during the year before. So, like, say, this year, people who failed to earn 25 championship points will lose their career numbers. This is for people who have had them forever. You know, Chad Reed's 22, all the people who have a 2-digit number and just either barely race or race enough to be relevant that they get to keep them, whatever. It also says riders may submit to the AMA an appeal in writing for consideration for retaining their career number. Riders may only appeal their career eligibility one time. This is for people who have really bad, let's say you go into a series, first round, you tear your ACL and you can't compete for the rest of the year. Obviously, you're not going to earn the 25 points needed to keep your number, so you can appeal that and say, hey, this is why I didn't. Can I please keep my 15, whatever. That to me is a good rule. It's keeping numbers moving. All the privateers or other guys that are running 3-digit numbers, if they get to the point where they've accrued enough points to get to a 2-digit number, but it's taken by somebody who's barely raced or only done a couple races here, and it's kind of just like a, hey, look at me, I'm still racing. No. If you get to the point where you've accrued enough points that you can get a 2-digit number, it'd be cool for some of the smaller privateer guys to get that, because it's a career thing. I made it so far. That's great. Section 4, this one I like. During Triple Crown format only, they've changed the wording to this to say the rider may not replace motorcycles after the 30-second board has been displayed on each specific race. So let's say you take your bike out during the sighting lap, you drop it by chance, you break your brake lever, your brakes don't work, your clutch is having problems, it doesn't matter. Whatever the problem is, you can now change that bike as long as you can get it on the starting line before the 30-second board goes up, which to me, that's a good thing. You're not going to have that stupid part where, like, you have a guy who's racing for the win or high up in championship points, and he has one race where something stupid happens before, something breaks again, and he has to not race that 1 out of 3, which takes him completely out of the win for the night, because obviously you're going to get, you could go 1-1 incomplete, and just, there it goes. There's your points win for the night. So I personally like that rule. The one I like below it too, and I'm going to take this as my interpretation of this rule, and it says, in the event there are less than 40 total riders attempting to qualify, a rider may be denied the option to compete in the program, whether it be a heat or last chance qualifier, based on lap times at the sole discretion of race direction. Obviously, a 40 rider grid is full. That's all the places done. I'm going to take this rule as literally saying, if you are so slow that we have to look at it and say you're slow, doesn't matter if the grid is full or whatever, they can literally just say, you're not fast enough, you're not racing tonight, go home. I like that one personally. 4.23, they've changed it to now you can use the foot risers, whatever you want to call them. They call them starting pads, but because I guess they're going to be doing hybrid races this year, starting on both metal and or dirt. So now, if you're short and you want to use starting pads, go right ahead. That's perfectly fine. They don't care anymore. Personally, to me, that's a stupid rule that never needed to be in there. Who cares if you use them? But again, doesn't matter. 4.25 is about restarts. I really don't care about that. The big one comes in section 5. And this has to do all about the pointing out system, the 250 advancement, people stuck in 250s for their whole career or just staying there because they want to. They changed the whole first section. Cut right out. You can read that right there. Section D now reads, a rider may self-advance to the 450 class at any time provided they're eligible for the 450 class as outlined in the AMA Supercross licensing regulations. So if you're racing, you say, screw the 250, I want to move up to the 450, you can at any time. They don't care. You get yourself a 450, you get yourself a sponsorship, go race with the big boys, have fun. E is where things actually start changing, or part E. It says, AMA 250SX regional champions may defend their championship the following season with the following clarifications. And this is where, like, people were Colt Nichols or Justin Cooper, this kind of falls where this is their section, let's put it that way. 1, champions may ride either region the following year, but must only compete with the number 1 plate when defending in the region they won the championship. You win in the East, you can race in the East, you can keep number 1 in there. If you switch from East to West, you don't get your 1 because obviously you didn't win the West last year. Makes sense. That's perfectly fine. Part 2 says, a rider that wins a 250XX championship will be eligible to participate in the 250SX class for a maximum of 4 years total. That's good. That's keeping the bottleneck. If you're good, there's no reason that you should be sandbagging to stay in the 250 class. If you win a championship, sucks. You have 4 years at most, you're moved forward. Part 8 of that says, if a rider wins the 250 championship, cross out a whole bunch of stuff, in their 4th or more season, that rider will be eligible to compete in the 250 SS class the following season only. So let's say you're in year 4. You got really good. You're winning your championship. You win it, you only have 1 year to do it, and then you're moving on, which is good. Again, I think moving people up is great. B, a rider must earn at least 5 points for it to count as a season. That falls under, again, the Justin Cooper thing. If you win your championship, get hurt in training, and you don't race the next year, obviously that shouldn't count as a year because you didn't get to defend your title. I think that's great. A rider that wins a second 250 SS championship will be eligible to participate in the 250 SS class for a maximum of 3 years total regardless of what year they won their second title. I.e., if a rider wins their second championship in their 3rd year of 250XX competition, they will be ineligible for the 250XX class. So if you win 2 titles, you're done. That's it. There's no 3rd year, there's no, I've only been here for 2. No, if you come in your rookie year, you win one the second year, sucks, you're moving up to 450s. And the part that I really liked, the last part right here, F. Riders who have been, change the wording right there, advanced to the 450 class through points or championships, one will not be eligible to return to the 250 SS class. So let's say, this to me looks like the Freezy thing. If you've been in your 450s for your whole, like, the last 10 years, whatever, 5-10 years, you've moved up, you've raced the big boys for a long time, there's no reason you should be able to go back and race the 250 guys, get your little title and race the younger kids. No. You're stuck in the 450s, that sucks for you. Done. Getting through all that, I know that was a wordy video. I hope you watched a good portion of it. If you just skimmed to the big parts, I'm happy with that. But with that being said, in the comments down below, tell me what you think. What's the biggest part of this? What do you take from it? What do you think's the most important? Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things this platform allows you to do, because obviously it helps me playing the YouTube algorithm game. And with that, I'll see y'all later. Peace.